What up, y'all? We got a quick little unboxing and demonstration for y'all of this 360-degree laser level. So it comes in this nice little package. It's very hard, nice little container. So we're gonna open this thing up, and here we are. We'll go through everything we got, and then we'll show you how to use it in just a minute. So this is the user manual right here. Then we have this little target plate, so you can line up your laser correctly. Some little how-to instructions, thank you card. Here's your charger. So it does come with 2 batteries. So here's your 2 batteries. So that's nice that they include batteries for you. So, and it does come with a charger. So that's how you can charge them up. And so this is a plate. So one of these is a magnetic stand. So this one right here. So this stand is magnetic. You can see the magnets here. And so if you already have something metal, you can just stick it straight to it. But if you don't, like if you're putting it on a drywall or something, you can screw this metal plate into the drywall, and then that way you can use this to magnet it to it. And then this laser will sit on top of here, and this actually turns here. So we'll show you all that in the demonstration. But yeah, that's the plate and the magnetic, and that's strong. Like I can't even get it off. Yeah, and then the magnetic stand there. Then we also have this little adapter here. So this is for tripods. So you can screw this onto a tripod, and then you can screw it on to this 1/4-20 right here. So that's adapting to a tripod. This is the kind of level stand. So this is like a little stand you can put it on if you want to raise it up off the ground some. I'm not exactly sure how you... Okay, here. You just unscrew this. And look, you can change the height of it just like that. So you can make it higher or lower. And then this laser will just sit on top of here. And we'll show you that in the demonstration too. If you need to get it up off the floor. You could put it on the floor. You can put it on a tripod. You can put it on this. Or you can also put it on the magnetic stand. And then there's also one more. So you have this stand that has these little prongs. So if you're putting it in the dirt or grass or somewhere, you can adjust these. So these twist to make it different heights. So that way you can get it flat, all the way flat. And then the level will screw onto here. And then this also spins, so you can turn the direction. So you can see that spinning there. If you just turn this knob, it spins different directions. We'll show you that. So there's several different ways you can mount this. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then a tripod. So you have 4 different ways. They don't include a tripod, but if you have one, that you can mount this thing. It does come with a remote, so you can change the modes with the remote, so that's nice. It also comes with this. So this is some other kind of mount. I'm not exactly sure how this mount works just yet, but we'll figure it out. There's another mount there. It does come with some safety glasses, so that's a pretty unique thing that they add in there, some safety glasses as well. And then that is going to lead us to the actual laser level. So this is it. So this is a 360-degree laser level, and it's a precision laser marking instrument. So all these puts off a different laser, and it does it 360 degrees, and it's so you can line up like pictures on the wall, or if you're putting tile on your floor or tile on your wall, you can use it to line up. This is where the battery goes. There's several different use cases for this, but if you're doing any renovations, this is going to be great. So this is the bottom. This is where those 1/4-20s will screw in, like this adapter here. It'll screw in here, right there, or this one, it'll screw in right there in that hole, and that's how you attach it. But yeah, there's so many different use cases you can get out of this. Hanging pictures, doing tile. There's several different things you can do. Drywall, anything like that. It's going to help you line things up correctly because it's going to level it out and give you a straight line. This does have a self-balance mode. If you put it in self-balance mode, it will try to balance itself out to where the lasers are flat and level, or it has a manual mode where you can adjust it manually as well. Depending on what your specific use case is, you may need to do it manually, or if you balance it out, or if you do it automatic mode, that may be good enough. Show you how the battery goes on. So it literally just slides on like that and clips in. Boom. Then here is your power. So there's a lock mode and an unlock mode. So okay, so that turns it on. So you can see the lasers there. And it beeps when it's not level. So if you put it down, as long as it's not level, it's gonna beep. So I'm gonna turn that off for now. And we'll set it up and show y'all a use case of how you would use this. So it's a pretty neat little product there. So yeah, let's test it out. All right, so we're going to put this thing on a tripod just to show you how the tripod works. So we're just gonna screw it on to the 1/4-20 here. And don't forget, you have all the other different mounting brackets that you can mount it to, but just for the purpose of this demonstration, we're going to use a tripod. and we're gonna measure up some pictures on the wall right here. So I will show you all the way around the room to give you an example. So we're gonna try to fix these, get these all lined up straight right here. You can see the line. So you have a line vertical, you have a line horizontal. So and it goes all the way around the room. So if you look, that line goes all the way around the room. You can see the intersection where it crosses. I'm blocking the light. So now it goes all the way around the room, and it goes all the way around this way. So if you look down, so you can make sure everything's lined up and everything is square. So if you need to make your room perfectly square, it even goes up on the ceiling. So it just shows you how it works, and it's coming out of each one of these lasers. It also goes across the wall here. So it goes all the way around that wall, and then all the way this way too. So it's completely 360, and you can see the laser coming out of here, laser coming out of here. So if you hold down this button right here, it will turn into manual mode. So let's put it back into self-balance mode, see what it does. Okay, see, when it's not level, it beeps like that. Yeah, that's because it's not level enough. So if you want to just put on manual mode, you can hold that button down, and then it will do that. So let's do what the other buttons do. Okay, so the other button hit this line. So depending on where you're at and what lines you need, you can change the laser. So you saw it was on this laser, and then I hit the button, and it went to this laser, and now the line goes this way. So it's going this direction now, as you can see, because earlier it was going this direction up this way, but I changed it. So let's hit that button again. Boom. Oh wait, wrong button. Okay, so now all three of them are on. So you can see it now. I have this laser that goes this way, this laser that goes horizontally, and then I also have this laser that goes this way vertical. So that's all three of the lasers on. So there's different modes you can use, and there's 3 different modes, and you can switch through them. So you have all your lasers. The top one turned off on that one. If I hit it again. Okay, there's also a laser on the bottom as well. So you have a laser on the bottom, this laser, and this laser. And then the bottom one went off, but the top one came on. And now all 4 of them on. So that one's on, this one's on. Oh, okay, I see. So it's a double line now. So now all 4 of them are on. You can see it's a double line, and that's going to be good for when you're hanging tiles and things like that. So there's 4 lasers. You can turn them all on or off, depending on which one you want. So I turned the top off and the bottom turned on, top turned on. Okay, so the top, just this button controls the top and the bottom, and then I guess, okay, so this button in the middle controls the 2 sides. That turned both of the sides off, so you just have the 2 lasers. It turned this one on, so you have this laser, and then that one turned just this one on, so you have this laser, and then now they're both on. So yeah, they're all 4 on. So that's what these buttons do. And this turns it on and off, or changes it to manual mode or auto balance mode. So that's how you work the different lights. I'm gonna leave them all on for now, and we'll try to line up these pictures over here, and that's what we're gonna do. There is also this strobe function. I'm not 100% positive what you would use this for, but if you just hit the power button like that, now it's on constantly. That dims it a little bit, and then this is the strobe mode. So I guess there's a certain use case you would use this, maybe in like bright daylight or something, so you can see it. I'm not 100% positive, but they do have that mode as well. So you can turn it off. Yeah, so you have, this is your brightest mode. You see how bright the lines are? And then you can dim it a little bit by clicking it, and it makes it less bright when you hit it that way. And then of course you can turn the lasers on and off. Different lasers. So yeah, that's it. Check it out, link in the description. I will show y'all how it hooks to the other platforms, just to show y'all. I'm not gonna do a demonstration for all of them because there's too many. But for this platform, you literally just sit it on here, and then you can either set this on a shelf or on something, or you can put it on the floor, whatever you need. And this changes, so you just screw this in, and it will either go down or up, depending on what level you need it. And you also have this leveler here, so you just screw the 1/4 on right there. This one will be good for like in the grass or in the dirt or anything, and it just sits, and you can level it out using these. You can adjust these, and then depending on what way you want it to turn, you can just turn this little knob here, and as you can see, the whole thing turns. So you can see the lasers behind me, they're turning on the wall, depending on what direction you need it. So that's pretty neat too, depending on how you're working. If you're doing tiles, you may need to move over one area or move up and move down. So you can adjust it using that. So that is that mount. So this mount works just like the other one, except it's magnetic. So you can stick it like on the wall, up in higher places or tight to reach places. So you just screw it on, and it essentially works the same way, except you'll either want to put it on something metal, like if you have a metal wall or anything metal you can stick it to, or if not, you can mount this plate to a wall and then just stick this on the wall. So for example, if you needed it right here for some reason, whatever you were doing, you could just use the screw holes, screw this metal plate into the wall like so, and then that way you can mount this whole thing right here on the wall. And then what you do is you take this little knob and you can turn it, and that will turn the lasers depending on what direction you need them to go. So make sure that's on tight. Yeah, and then you can turn it like so. So that's how all the mounts work. They're pretty self-explanatory. And then we're gonna put it back on the tripod for this demonstration. All right, so let's line these pictures up, show you how it works. All right, so I lined it up where it's perfectly off the edge of this picture here. So now I know how, if I want to square it up with this one, now I got this line, so I can put it on the straight line here, and then I can put it on this level right here. That way I know it's straight. So I have a straight edge here, straight edge there, and I already got my screw there. So now let's just line it up with straight edge. Normally you would be using tiles and things that are exactly the same size. This picture is actually a little bit bigger, so it's going to actually stick out the edge a little bit more. But I can definitely line up this line to make sure it's straight. So that way I know if it's off, like if it's that way, then you can see the line gets off there and I know it's not straight. So what I can do is I can pull it down here, and now boom, now that green line is perfectly flat. So now I know this picture is straight, and then obviously this picture is a little bit bigger, so the edge is not going to line up perfectly with that one. But if you had tiles or something that were the exact same edge, it would line up perfectly on the edge. But I can still see if this is straight or not this way by depending on that line, and it is straight, so that helps you line it up. So yeah, normally if you're doing tiles that are all the same size, or floor tile, wall tile, whatever you're doing, this will help a lot with lining your pictures up and things like that. So it's gonna come in handy. The thing's super neat. You can use it to hang pictures, hang shelves on the wall, all kinds of things. I wish I would have had this tool when I hung all this stuff up originally. It would have helped a lot, so I can make sure everything's straight. And you could also go back and use it to help line things up. Like you can use it as a straight edge to line other things up if you want to. So yeah, that's how it works to install things like tile and things like that. So it's super sweet. You're definitely gonna want to check this product out on Amazon. I will drop a link down in the description that will take you right to this product. And if you need something, if you have a home renovation project coming up, you're definitely gonna want to check this thing out. It's gonna come in handy when you're putting those tiles and things together. And then you can, depending on what lasers you need, you can turn them on or off, turn these on or off. So yeah, super sweet. Check it out. Let's turn all the lasers back on. So yeah, that's all 4 of them. You got the double line there, vertical line, and you also have, so you have the double horizontal line, vertical line, and then you also have this vertical line in this direction. And they all meet up there at the center. Come down. So yeah, super sweet. Check this thing out. Link in the description, and y'all have a great day.